Introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'll tell you how I came into this. In the 1960s, very early 1960s, I trained with the government microwave warfare establishment. I looked at all aspects of microwave warfare, and when I finished my time in the military, because I had a lot of expertise in the microwave field, I was asked if I would carry on with this research.
Are there citizens of this country that are being abused with this technology?
Worse than abused, that's a light word. They're being tortured.
So here's a sampling of the many names the single weapon system has gone under. Psi weapons, non-lethal weapons, directed energy weapons, cognitive modeling influencers, voice of God weapons, synthetic telepathy, EEG cloning, EEG heterodyning.
A small part of my job was to question captured agents, spies, terrorists, because microwaves then were used as weapons, as they are today. It is a perfect stealth weapon, and when governments don't like a group of people, for instance the ladies who protest at Greenham Common in England about the American missile base they camped, they were microwaved. We microwaved Catholics in Northern Ireland to make them sick. It goes on all over the world, and it's a weapon that you don't know you're being targeted because the dose is very, very low, which is actually more dangerous than a high dose. It's very, very low, and it may take a year or two, but you can cause neurological damage and cancers with low-level microwaves, and you can make all your opponents sick. It's a perfect weapon.
It's off the radar for most people in the world, but it's an incredibly important subject, and it's increasing in importance as time goes by. It's the topic of gang stalking. So here we are with Eric, and we're going to start talking. I'm going to pretty much give him the floor.
Academic research experience, and I can also speak from personal experience on this. And it's a very unsavory topic because the goal of these community spying networks is to neutralize, discredit, ultimately destroy.
Neurotelemetry, biotelemetry, scalar weapons, behavioral biophysics, microwave weapons, mind control, bioenergetics, neuron fluencing, mind meld, remote interrogations, remote hypnotic intracerebral control neuralizer.
In order to target individuals who are designated as, well, who knows, you can get on these lists in a number of ways. To become a targeted individual could be that you're a whistleblower. That's very common. In other words, a way to neutralize people and eventually destroy the lives of people.
They can just program your brain just like a computer to get you a mental health diagnosis so that the other people in the population won't believe what you're saying. They'll be told like you're schizophrenic or you're crazy or things like that, to allow the harassment to continue. When in fact, it's a lot of times, a lot of the targets that I know, they're whistleblowers, drug whistleblowers, people who tried to do the right thing or file a lawsuit against somebody,
Sounds like gang stalking or something. Have you heard of that?
Now, just when you think things are bad, then there's gang stalking.
And by then, everybody was leaping onto the microwaves as stealth weapons, and they go from there, which was the 50s, right up to and including the present day.
What they'll do to a particular person in order to stress them out is they'll hit them with the same thing over and over and over again.
RHIC, EDOM, telesuggestion, parapsychology, radio frequency weapons, psychotronics, radionics.
He's fairly esteemed in the medical profession. He went through an extraordinary experience, which he documents in A New Breed. I have a link to that on the site. In this book is what we all need to be doing. Anyone who is stalked or targeted in any way needs to be documenting all of these things. So he documented it in a book.
Telecybernetics, bioelectromagnetics, non-thermal effects research, remote brain wave monitoring, psychic spying, stealth radar, microwave interferometry.
Dr. Robert Duncan holds degrees from Harvard and Dartmouth and many other universities. His expertise is directed energy, neurological weapons, psychological information warfare. This is the most horrifying topic of all time.
To be born in the same time as a motherfucker named J. Edgar Hoover.
I'm going to start out with a quote. This is from former FBI director, and it's a warning. Quote, "The individual is handicapped by coming face to face with a conspiracy so monstrous he cannot believe it exists."
High-frequency pulsed ELF waves, thought reader radar, informational weapons, and the list goes on for another 2 pages.
Microwave remote control is used today against targeted individuals suffering from synthetic telepathy harassment. Synthetic telepathy is used for conducting torture training and or experimentation against people as red herring good cop / bad cop or tough love acting, diversions, feints, decoys, and smokescreens, as smear campaigns by association, as openly secret intimidation campaigns against targeted dissidents, and as a means of espionage.
Let me just, if you don't mind, I'll just give a little background of myself so that people know where I'm coming from. I got my master's in 1977, University of Wyoming, in physical geography, my PhD in 1981 in physical geography, specializing in soils, landforms, and climate. But I've been pretty busy with my 4 websites ever since.
Has many names: gang stalking, mob stalking, community stalking. You're in the middle of this ridiculous, irrational impossibility that is real and is happening.
There really is no help at the moment officially to assist target individuals. They can't go to the police, they can't go to the FBI, they can't go to Congress. There is nowhere that they can go.
Dr. Robert Duncan put together the technology that allows the government to transmit thoughts and voices into the heads of Americans.
Under new names, new budgets, it's the ultimate weapon.
Are there citizens of this country that are being abused with this technology?
Worse than abuse, that's a light word. They're being tortured. That's a light word. They're being tortured. That's a light word. They're being tortured.
Whatever it was, and mine remain also. And these pills did not help these young men. And if you're a sane person, then, and you're taking prescription meds, what's next? You know, and it's not helping.
Right.
You know?
That's called neuro-linguistic programming, and it's an entire field in the Army, and we use it in propaganda. But using this, what's often called voice-to-skull technology, literally piping subliminal messages and overt messages to the target that no one else can hear, you can alter behavior.
Yeah, I mean, voices are the easiest ones because all you have to do is stimulate the cochlea with a set resonant frequency. It's very easy. Voices are very easy, and it isn't people imagining voices. They physically hear them. They physically hear. As I'm talking to you, my voice isn't inside your brain. My voice goes no further than an inch into your ear, no further at all. It's the electrical signal that makes you interpret how I sound. And once you've got this electrical signal, which can be a chip or lots of things, you can physically make people hear voices, certain voices, and it can be any conversation, and it can be anybody you want to hear. It can be a soft, angelic voice. It can be a god. It could be something that scares you, like a devil. It could be anything.
Okay, doctor, to deliver this, how do they get into your head? I've heard of these Gwen towers. They allegedly were used before, and now they claim that they're not used for anything.
They do match up with the properties and necessary capabilities. They easily could be broadcasting across the country messages to people and causing them extreme pain.
This issue, after a number of years, has come up to one of the top of my list as a problem in our country. Talked to hundreds of people all around the country who are experiencing things that are just unbelievable. And from a standpoint of the law, you want to get justice for these people. You hate to see their lives destroyed. You hate to see what happens to a person that's been harassed. But the biggest problem is it's very difficult to pinpoint what's going on. He authored the publication Microwave Harassment and Mind Control Experimentation in 1991. She kept that electronic surveillance project going for 4 years by funding it with her own personal funds obtained through her military benefits pay. Julian did not copyright her work, and it is out in the public domain for the public good. Microwave Harassment and Mind Control Experimentation. The public has taken her hard copy publication and uploaded it to several thousand domain sites over the past 15 years. It is still respected as one of the most important publications on this subject. There is a wider scale of surveillance of average people, people with no threat to the national security, in your estimation.
I would say that most of those targeted are not and never have been a threat. I think that what happened initially when these operations began, probably 30 years ago, people were singled out perhaps because of some affiliation, either direct or indirect, with the United States government, and invited attention. But they were not singled out as being threats. They were singled out as being lucrative targets of experimentation.
Stanford Scientology and the CIA. This is from a book by Alex Constantine on psychic spying at the Stanford Research Institute, or CIA mind control. Quote, concrete evidence that electronic mind control was the true object of study at Stanford Research Institute was exposed by the Washington Post in 1977.
It's a light word. They're being tortured. It's a light word. They're being tortured.
And they must give individual consent. And this includes Tetra, which is an experiment that's going on until 2018 to look for cancer and brain damage. So everybody using Tetra is actually breaking the law.
Go ahead.
I understand the legal implications, certainly. There is enough literature on the internet and elsewhere that establishes the existence of these weapon systems. To pinpoint, for purposes of prosecution, to pinpoint their existence would be difficult. And the position I take is that rather than pinpoint them for prosecution purposes, it's easy enough to single them out by electronic means and to destroy them.
That these people are probably going to cause more death and suffering than the entire Second World War. And is that genocide? Yes, without a shadow of a doubt. And are they going to get away with it? Yes.